Eastman with 3M's Industrial Business
Nice to
Group.
meet you, Bailey.
Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today. Is it alright if I set some things down on your desk?
Absolutely. Help yourself. I've got a water here if you'd like it.
Thank you so much. Well, first things first, I just want to go ahead and give you my business card. So at any point in the future, I can serve as your reference point with 3M. If I can get one of yours as well, I'd love that.
Absolutely. There you go.
Thank you so much, Tyler. I really appreciate that.
You bet.
Well, Tyler, just in the interest of time today, I want to confirm we have 15 minutes to meet. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 20.
Yeah, and don't feel rushed. I just got some
Okay.
stuff I need to take care of, but take your time.
Okay, really appreciate that. Well, in setting up this appointment, I spoke to your secretary, Anna, and she was just so helpful. She actually gave me some parking instructions and traffic tips to avoid. So if you could just pass along this thank you note to her, I would greatly appreciate that.
She would love that, and I will take care of that.
Yeah, and it was evident in my conversation with her that she really valued working here at Tough Tabletops, and her demeanor was just so sweet, and I can tell that you guys have a very great business model here. So
Glad to hear that. Thank you for
she
saying.
mentioned that last week you were on a trip with your family. How did that go?
Oh, it felt good. It felt good. I unplugged and got off the grid and was able to recharge a little bit. But
yeah, that's a nice way to start the year.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. But you know what? Stuff didn't change, right? We're back at it.
Waiting for you to get back. Hopefully, improved peace of mind a little bit. Where did you guys go?
We went to the Caribbean.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
First time. First time.
Very nice. I've been on a couple cruises down there. Absolutely wonderful.
It's paradise. They call it paradise for a reason.
Yes, truly, and some good family bonding time as well.
Right.
Very good. Well, Tyler, I know that you guys are in kind of a unique industry, so it's been about 3 generations now, I learned, and how did you guys get into such a unique industry?
Well, you know, I don't know the total history of all the details, but what started off as a hobby grew into a little bit of demand, and then there was some money being made, and it just grew into a business, and now we've just established ourselves as the table provider of our region. So it's kind of the success story of a small family business.
Very good. So one thing to another, and here we are 40 years later.
That's right. Here we are.
Very good. Well, I know that you have a lot on your plate, and so in preparation for our meeting today, I went ahead and set an agenda. I would first like to go ahead and gain a better understanding of your current business processes, where you're looking to go in the future, and then if we do find a fit between 3M Solutions and Tough Tabletops needs, I'd love to explore the opportunity to create value through a mutually beneficial partnership there.
I like that.
Is there anything you'd like to add to that agenda?
No, I mean, you're very well prepared, so I appreciate that.
Yes, of course. Now, in this process, I know that you are the plant manager. Will you be the sole decision maker today?
Yes.
Okay, very good. And just so that we can make the most time, if you would share a little bit about your decision-making criteria in choosing an adhesive, that would help me to bring the most valuable to the conversation today.
Well, I wish I could be more help to you. We've been using the same adhesive package I mean, I've been here for 20 years and we've been using it for 20 years. It was spec'd in long before I got here. So I haven't had to select. I've had to negotiate price points, and I've had to negotiate buys, and you know, we started off in quart cans, then to 5-gallon pails. Now you probably know we're working out of drums.
Yes.
But it's tried and true. It's a staple product of our business, so it's been here a long time.
Okay, very good, and definitely, so it sounds like you're in the interest of making sure that it's the value that's there in regards to price, as well as the tried and true, it's been around, and making sure that that's an easy implementation to the manufacturing.
You know, we have to meet a spec with this adhesive because of the markets it goes into. If it's, you know, in your dining room, it's not that big of a deal, but when it goes into an airplane, or it goes onto a ship or into a cargo, it has to meet a certain spec, and that no stickum certainly meets that. I think they actually set the spec, but they meet the spec, so if it ain't broke, we don't fix it, right?
Very good. Well, I'm excited to dive in and get to know more about you and your business.
Good. So,
obviously being in business for 40 years, there's certain things that have led to your success. What are 2 of your main things that have contributed to that success?
Consistency.
Okay.
And, you know, I guess consistency, and maybe we're very ethical.
Okay.
It's difficult to put 2 words to it. We do what we say we're going to do, and people seem to respond to that.
A company of your word.
Yep.
Very good. Now, when you're looking ahead at the next 12 months, what is one goal in particular that Tough Tabletops is looking to accomplish?
Well, we're exploring the Canadian border, so we're
Okay.
going to move we're going to become international in the next 12 months. So that will be an achievement. We've been U.S. based and U.S. only for 40 years, and we will soon become international. So
Congratulations, that's a big step.
that is a big step. It's a very big step. It's an exciting step at the same time.
Yes, definitely.
Yep.
So in my experience working across a number of industries, everyone's manufacturing process is a little bit different. So would you walk me through what that looks like for you in turning your materials into product to be sent to your customers?
Well, you've seen the process, right?
Right.
So I would just call it your basic assembly line, right?
Okay.
So everybody's got a task and they've got their, we call them pitches. So within their pitch of that moving assembly line, they've got their job to do. And anytime we can shorten that pitch or add content to that pitch, we find that to be a success. So if I can take this washer from this pitch and apply it to this person because they've got an extra 2 seconds, then we call it line balance.
Okay.
So you're not working really hard and this one's standing there reading a magazine. So every employee on the line has a certain task.
Okay.
And we do a little bit of cross training, so I can pull this person and put them in here, but not a ton. But for the most part, when you show up to work, you know what your job is.
Very important.
Yep.
So in the adhesive portion of your manufacturing process specifically, how long would you say it takes for your no stick-on product to dry?
Well, that's a good question. It certainly doesn't dry, right? But it flashes, and that's
Right.
that's what takes the time. And it depends, right? If it's middle of the summer, doesn't take very long at all. If it's winter time, it's kind of cold in the shop. It takes longer, but I would say on average it's 3 to 5 minutes for those parts to flash before we can bond them together.
And get moving along?
Yep.
Okay. Another problem that I've seen other manufacturers face is the defective rate of tables. So if the bond isn't strong enough or the flash point isn't reached, like you said, there could be tables that need to be shipped back or fixed. Is that a problem that you've seen in the past?
I'll answer by saying no.
Okay.
Have we had tables returned? Have we had challenges? And yes, it's never adhesive based. It's never the adhesive problem. I would always tell you it's training or an
Okay.
operator. Given the vast number of tables that we build and the small amount of quality issues we get, I just know it's a training issue. So no, we've got a lot of faith in that adhesive.
Okay, very good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. So if I could show you a product that would allow you to shorten that dry time, even though depending on the season, you've said it takes a variable amount of time, but something that makes that flash point happen instantaneously, as well as balance that line out, would that be something you'd be interested in?
If you can shorten that dry time, I'm all ears.
Okay, very good. Another thing that I wanted to mention to you today was that in working with a lot of manufacturing companies, I've seen that companies look to new technology or machines a lot of times to overhaul their manufacturing process. They often forget about the little details that can make the largest impact.
Okay.
So I want to make sure that later in our demonstration, I really show that to you today.
Oh.
And then another area I wanted to point out to you was your insurance costs. So in my experience, insurance costs are raised when you're using a flammable product. Is that something that you currently have?
Yes.
Okay.
Very well aware of it.
Yes. So you would agree that there's an opportunity to improve there?
Absolutely. I know the fire marshal on a first name basis. He's here regularly to inspect. So.
Very good. We'll see if we can maintain the friendship and reduce the insurance. So another thing that you said is, and that you mentioned and I really resonate with, is that you're an ethical company looking to take interest in the environment. And so what actions have you currently done to be in line with that goal of yours?
Well, it's a great question, and we've always felt it was the right thing to do, so it's never been a campaign. But we buy appropriate products, we buy replenishable products, we recycle where we can. There's not a stitch of packaging material that goes into our dumpster. It all goes into the recycle. We bale it. So it is our culture and it is what we do. I think that resonates with our customers. So just doing the right thing. That
Doing the
makes
right
sense.
thing.
I don't think we go out of our way. We just do what's available to us.
That is unique in this industry,
It is.
and having
It
that
actually is.
mindset is very admirable.
Thank you for that.
So in being here today, 3M is really, in my industry specifically, is in the business of providing solutions that allow you to make better business decisions for your company and also for the environment in the long run.
Okay.
So if I could show you a product that was consistent and allowed for an easy transition moving forward, provided ethical practices for the long run, and helped you to increase productivity so that you could move into that international space, would that be something you'd be interested in moving forward with?
You said all the right things. I'm all ears.
Well, I'm very glad to hear, Tyler. Okay, so like I said, our solution is really in the interest of helping you to have a better business, a solution that's better for your business and better for the environment. Now, you said that you're in the business of making sure everything is ethical, and part of that is providing a safe environment for not only your customers, but your employees and the earth as well. So let's go ahead and show you exactly how that can happen. So 3M's Fast Tac product is non-flammable and has 0 VOCs. Now, I know that you're in this space, so you've heard those words thrown around, but I want to dive into what exactly that means for you. So non-flammable means that you won't have that additional risk posed to your employees as well as the end customer. 0 VOCs means that the volatile organic compounds that are normally in other industry products, in my research, no stickum, there is in 1 barrel of no stickum 119,000 milligrams per drum of VOCs. In 3M's
I've never heard that. I knew it was toxic. I didn't know it had that much.
Yeah, and in 3M, 1 drum has 0. So do you see that?
Zilch. 0.
Absolutely none. So, do you see how having a non-flammable product with 0 VOCs would be beneficial to your working environment?
Yeah, I'd have to verify your data, but if what you're saying is factual, it's very interesting.
Yes, definitely. So it sounds like you're a little bit concerned about the research behind that.
Well, I'm not. I trust your research. I knew we've got a solvent-based product. You can smell it.
Right.
And VOCs are highly regulated, but to have that volume in that 1 drum, and we use dozens of drums a year, so that's very interesting.
And I actually have some research to back that up, so I'll send you an email after our meeting today with those statistics specifically.
Thank you.
Another thing I'd really like to point out in the interest of your ethical and your safety is that this Green Guard certification that comes with 3M's Fast Tac product is the only product in the market that has this Green Guard certification. And to make that more clear, the EPA did a research study, and they found that in areas where non-Green Guard certified products were used, the air emissions were 5 times more potent than the emissions of a space that was used with a Green Guard certified product. So having a cleaner airspace for not only your factory, but also for the end customer space.
Your product's the only one that has that Green Guard certification?
Yes, so we have this Green Guard certification, and that really is what is unique about it, in addition to that 0 VOC.
Interesting.
Yeah. So.
Does it work, the glue?
Yes, and that's exactly what I want to talk to you about next,
Okay.
Tyler. So.
It doesn't have any of the good stuff in it. Does it work?
Luckily, we have this product that can do both.
Okay.
So. Here we have 4 ways I want to touch on that this product, 3M Fast Tac, is going to contribute to Tough Table Talk's long-term success, as well as stay in line with your consistency that you mentioned you have earlier. So, productivity. How is this going to help? Well, because of the flashpoint drying time that we talked about earlier being reduced to instantaneous process, this means that with each table adhesive that you make, you'll be saving 3 to 5 minutes. Do you see how that could benefit the long-term assembly line?
That is outstanding. I mean, if we can save seconds on an application, we're impressed. You're saying I can take that entire flashpoint dwell to 0.
Yes, Tyler, that is the incredible part about this product.
All right. You're
So-
creating a monster here, but I'm interested. You got 3 points to go, so let's see where
Very
these
good.
go.
Now the next point I want to cover is quality. 3M's Fast Tack has the highest strength, so that means, I know you talked about earlier, not necessarily having problems with delamination, but just ensuring that this is of the same quality that you've had in the past as to keep your consistent assembly line practices up.
Okay.
So that high strength. And then this is an interesting one that I really wanted to point out to you. So in the use of 3M's Fast Tack, because it has greater coverage, this means you'll need less barrels per year. So this frees up inventory space where you could be using that for many other things. Can you imagine if you freed up going from 52 barrels a year to 14 barrels a year, what that would do?
Can you imagine freeing up the cash?
Yes, exactly.
Because I'm sure your stuff's the same price, right?
So I want to touch on the value a little bit later, and I'll be sure to bring that up.
Okay.
I just want to go ahead and finish our fourth way to contribute to tough tabletop success, and then I'll bring that out.
Okay.
So we also talked about the insurance, how using a flammable product like that is definitely a very expensive cost. And because of the reduced risk in using the zero VOC and non-flammable product, you'll be able to decrease your premium. And I've seen this with my past customers played out.
I'm sure you have. You probably don't have any documentation of what I could expect. I'll work that out with my agent. That's not your space. I'll work that out.
Of course, but just to ensure that you do feel comfortable with that, I have some references from customers in the past, and along with the research that I'm going to send you, I'll send you that as well.
Please do. I would be
Very
interested in
good.
that.
So now here we are at the value discussion, and I want to go ahead and show you what this will look like for you financially. Now, on a drum per drum basis, this is what it will look like. So you'll be ending up saving around $5,000, which, although in the grand scheme of your budget, I'm sure looks like a small number, I want to show you how it can have a larger impact.
Okay.
So in the industry average, most companies need 336 square feet of adhesive to make their table manufacturing. Would you estimate yours is similar?
Sure.
Okay, great. So to cover that amount of space, you will need only 3 drums as compared to 48 drums of your current product. So this is where you can realize cost savings, more inventory space, and overall save that money. And $5,000, could you see that helping you in your expansion to Canada?
Yeah. So just so I'm clear, take the numbers off of it. What I need 48 drums for today, if I switch to your product, I only need 14. That's what you're telling me.
That's what I'm telling you. Do you find the value in?
I mean, if on paper I do.
Yeah.
Theoretically I do. I've been doing this a long time.
Yeah.
We eke out every possible ounce of coverage out of these drums, and you come in here and show me. How come I'm amazed. I would challenge that number until I see it for myself. Okay.
So I think we both have agreed that there is a lot of value to be found if these research and the numbers were to prove true. So what I would like to do is move forward in setting a meeting to further discuss the research and how this would practically be implemented into your process. Would you agree that would be the next step?
Yeah, I think so. I think, yes. I think what we're gonna have to do, if I could set the mark.
Yes, of course.
We're gonna need to see this on the line.
Okay.
Because you did a fantastic demonstration, and I appreciate that, and it appears to be very strong, but that was just a little demonstration. I mean, we were on a massive line, multiple operators, multiple guns, multiple everything. You know, I read the coverage of a back of a can of paint, and it tells me I can paint a whole room with a gallon. I've never painted a room with 1 gallon of paint, right? I get about 2/3 of the way, and then I'm out, and I have to buy more. So.
Well, what I'll propose is this. Let's set an appointment for this time next week, since this seems to be a free opportunity.
Okay.
I will come to your factory, and we can walk you through what it would look like, and so you can get a tangible picture of what this would look like within your organization.
I say that's a deal.
All right, next week at 10 a.m.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time today, Tyler.
Thank you
it's
very
been
much.
great. And I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great weekend with your family.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for being here today.
Do you want this?
Thank you.
Well done. Well done.